creative. If your Facebook, Instagram, or Meta ads are not delivering the sales you want, you need to analyze why. The data will tell you exactly what is wrong with your ads and what you need to fix. And I'm going to show you how to look at that data and how to analyze it with ease. My name's Jessie Healy. I'm a 7-figure exited agency owner. I have spent over $50 million on digital advertising and I've scaled over 100 e-commerce brands. With that being said, let's dive into my system for analyzing your Facebook ads in 2025. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your Facebook Ads Manager so that you can analyze your results really easily. And then I'm going to talk about what good results look like and what your benchmarks are so that you can compare your results to what they should be so you can figure out where you're not measuring up. In the second part of this video, I'm going to show you the exact metrics I use to track the performance of creative for mine and my clients' ad account. So for instance, to be able to see where are people dropping off in their interest when they're watching your videos, is it not grabbing their attention, or where are you going wrong inside the actual video creative? So stick around for the second half of this video where we go through the specific creative metrics that I'm looking at in 2025 to analyze ad creative. Okay, so let's dive in and set up your columns in Ads Manager so you've got an easy way to jump in and analyze your results. So what the metrics we're going to set up initially are these ones here on my screen. So starting at attribution setting and going down to cost per purchase. And then in the second part of the video, we're going to dive a little bit deeper and set up these creative performance metrics. But let's start with the key metrics that we're going to track just to analyze your campaigns on a day-to-day basis. So what you want to do is hop over here into the columns section here, and you want to click on customize columns. We're going to remove all these ones from the right-hand side here because we want a clean slate with no columns, and we're going to add these one by one. So the first one you want to add is attribution setting. So you just type it, search for it, ad set name, type search, cost per result, that's the one, ROAS, this one, and then this one, AOV is AOV and conversion rate are a little bit different. For some crazy reason, Meta does not add these metrics in by default, and we have to create them. So you can create any metric you want by telling Meta like what you want the metric to look at. So in this case, we're going to do average order value, which is AOV, average order value, which is, it's the purchase conversion value. So you type purchase conversion, purchase value, this one here, divided by purchases. So that's saying all the revenue divided by the number of purchases. Okay, so we're going to create the average order value. So we're going to type purchase conversion value, which is this one here, purchases conversion value, and we're going to go divided by this one here, and we're going to name the metric average order value, and we're going to change it to currency. So this is telling us what is the average amount people are spending per transaction. It's the value of all the purchases divided by the number of purchases. And then we need to make sure that we put it in here. And then the next one is conversion rate. So we're going to name it. Conversion rate is the frequency, the percentage of people that are buying versus people who are clicking on your ads. So we're going to go purchases, number of purchases, divided by link clicks. So this is of the number of all the people that clicked, how many bought. I'm going to change that to percentage. So there it is there. Cool. And then the rest we just add as I said. So we're going to add, and you should feel free to pause and follow along and get these all added now because it's really important to get them added in. So we're going to do impressions. We are going to do frequency. We are going to do link click. We are going to do CTR. Choose the one that says link click-through rate. That's important. We're going to do CPC, and we're going to do purchases, this one here, and we're going to do cost per purchase by ticking this box here. And over here on the left, we want to just remove these extra tick boxes here because that will just clean up the columns and make it nice and neat. Right, so we're going to click apply, and now we've got our columns set up. Woohoo! That is important. Next step is to make sure you save these columns. So you want to click save here and name it dashboard 1, and then that means you can always click here and come back to it. You can see I've got some other dashboards added and it's there. And then the other thing you want to do is, now that you've got this set up, you want to save this as a bookmark. So you can just come straight back, hit Ads Manager with all the numbers you need without having to fluff around and try and find it again later. So that is key. So here you are, you've got it all set up. Another little trick is what I like to do is I click Head Delivery here, and that just clears out all the old ads from past weeks. So it just shows me the ads that have been delivered in the time period that I've got here. So that is the column set up. Let's dive in and talk about how we actually analyze the numbers to tell us what to do next. I realize there's one more that you need to add a super important one. You need to add amount spent. So just click on customize columns, click on amount spent here, and I would actually add that right at the top. So it shows you here, you can move them around as well, which is great. So I do apply, and then I would save that again as a dashboard. So there you go, dashboard 2. Alrighty, so we've got that saved. So now let's dive in and analyze these. So imagine this was your ad account. You've got 3 campaigns running at the moment. So these 2 are switched off. And so we're just going to look at these ones that are switched on. So I'm just going to divide. You can just reorder the columns so we can just see these 3 that are turned on at the top here. And so what we can do is we can look at our results. So we can see, which of these campaigns initially is driving the best cost per purchase. So we can see this campaign here is delivering a much better cost per purchase than these 2. It tells us the average order value. So this one here has the lowest average order, the medium average order value, but it has a low cost per purchase. So it ends up being that this one has a much better return on ad spend than these other 2. And in the case of this, we're doing some testing with these. So it's not like we're going to switch them right off, but this is definitely our winner here and the one I'd be looking to scale. We can also see how many impressions it's had, which kind of tells us a little bit about like how many people have seen the ad. We can see link clicks here. How many clicks have we had on these particular ads? And what has been the click-through rate? So something is going really well in this ad account because the click-through rate is 1.7 versus these 2, the click-through rate is just not as good. So your click-through rate is a really good measure. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it's a really good measure of of how well people are responding to your ad. If your ad is really good, you'll have a click-through rate of higher than 1%. And if your ad is not so good or a little bit mediocre, it'll be less than 1%. The cost per click is often a bit of a function of how well your ad is performing, how well your people are responding to your ad. It's not the be-all and end-all metric either, but it does give you some information here. And then ultimately the cost per purchase, which should be the same as the cost per result if you're optimizing for purchase, but that would be the key difference there. So this gives us at the top level, we can see by campaign, which campaigns are performing best. And then we can dig down a level lower, see this ad set and see how it's performing on the basis of all of these metrics. And then we can also see at the ad level, we can see which ads have had the most impressions, the most link clicks, the highest and the lowest click-through rate, the most purchases, and which ones are delivering a good cost per purchase versus not such a good one. Now this is an Advantage Plus campaign, so we've got a lot of ad creative here, and we're going to leave the system to automatically allocate which creative to put the budget on. So we're not going to worry too much about switching ads on and off, but it's more so at the campaign or perhaps at the ad set level, depending on what settings you've got, that you're going to be analyzing your results and deciding which campaigns to scale and which campaigns to pull back on, which campaigns maybe need new creative, which campaigns should be left as they are, but just given more budget. So if I was to analyze what we can see here, you can see this campaign is doing really well. We'll be wanting to scale this and keep adding budget to this. So the amount spent so far has been $4,152. We want to potentially add, 10 or 20% to this daily budget so that we can start to scale this campaign because it's doing really, really well. This client has a goal of a cost per purchase of, around $100. So we're well south of that goal, and we can definitely scale this ad set. So that runs you through in a nutshell how you can kind of analyze your ads, see what's performing, what's not performing. The conversion rate, we created the metric, but we might have forgotten to add it. So that's just a reminder there. So we can see the conversion rate of each of these campaigns as well. So actually, they're converting quite similarly, would be an insight I would take from this. They're quite similar in terms of their conversion rate. But what we're seeing is that some of these campaigns have a much lower click-through rate. So while the ad itself is converting, the campaign is converting, we're not getting enough interest on the ad. So that would tell me maybe it's time to analyze what's going on with the ads and form a view of what I need to do next with the creative. So in this second part of the video, I'm going to tell you how to set up your creative columns and how you can use that to analyze the performance of your creative. So let's dive into that now. Okay, so the next step to analyzing your ad performance is actually analyzing your creative, because in 2025, the most important definer of your success with meta ads is actually your creative and how well it performs, how well it grabs attention, stops the scroll, how much are people watching through, and then how often are they deciding to click through. So I'm going to show you how to set up your metric so that you can analyze this with ease and start to understand which creative is performing well and which creative needs improving and what you need to do next to have better creative. So let's dive in and set this up. So as before, on the left hand of on the side of my screen here, you can see the additional metrics that we're going to set up. Now, a number of these are these kind of custom metrics that I showed you how to create. So I'll show you again how to create them. So we need to again go into here, click on customize columns. We want to search for thumbnail success. We want to create a custom metric, which is thumbnail success. So we'll name it thumbnail success. And then we are going to do video plays divided by impressions. And we're going to make this one a percentage, and we're going to create the metric. And now we want to put thumbnail success. Here we go. And we're going to add that in. So that's going to be added down here. Cool. And now we're going to create another one, which is hook rate. Now this is also a percentage, and this one is 3-second video plays divided by impressions. And then we're going to create that, and then we're going to save that as hook rate. Hook rate, there it is there. And then we're going to do hold rate. So hold rate, and hold rate is through plays divided by 3-second video plays. And this one is also a percentage, and we're going to create it. There we go. And then we're going to go video average play time as an ordinary metric. You don't need to create it. We're going to do 25% video play. We're going to do 50%, and we're going to do 75%, and we're going to do 100%. And then we're going to click apply. And so now we can save this dashboard as our creative dashboard. So I'm going to save it as creative dashboard. Alrighty, so now we can dive in and analyze it. Okay, so now we have all these juicy metrics to analyze for our ads. So we're going to pick an ad set that has a bunch of videos in it, and we're going to analyze our creative. So let's have a look here and see what trends we can see. And I'm going to put this through a little bit longer time period, because when you're analyzing creative, you want a bit more data. You don't, unless you're spending a lot per day, you don't want to have just a few days worth of data, because it's too short of a time span to have meaningful data about your creative. So here we can see which of these ads drove the most purchases, and we can see the hook rate. Now the hook rate is basically how many people stopped and watched the video versus scrolling past. So you want to ideally have a hook rate of over 20, maybe 25%, but it will depend for your industry and your niche. And what you want to look at is like which ones are the laggards in terms of your ads, and which ones are the ones that are really steaming ahead. So we can see here the hook rate of these ads ranges from 16% to 25%, or maybe even this one's 30%. So what I'd be wanting to look at is like, what did I do well in these two videos that I didn't do quite so well in this video? Could I take this video and improve it by improving that first 3 seconds to make it stronger, to improve my hook rate? Thumbnail success just gives you a measure, a benchmark for whether the thumbnail is stopping the scroll or not. The hold rate tells you how many people are actually watching through the video versus the ones that have actually stopped and watched. So is it holding their attention all the way through, or are they stopping and not really continuing through? So in this case, we can see fairly average across the board, but there is this one particular video that's holding people a little better, and some of these other videos may be a little bit more boring and maybe need to have the pace increased a little bit. You can see the average video play time on each of these videos. So the ones that are holding people's attention for longer, surprise, surprise, are the ones where people are watching them for longer. So these videos are being watched 5, 3, 4 seconds on average. And then you can see how many people have viewed 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100% of the videos. So that's how you would analyze that. And I just realized I got this metric slightly wrong. I was a little bit too happy with my clicking there. So this one's a ratio rather than the number of people that viewed it at each percentage. But you can sort of see that you can see the waterfall effect through these ads. And you can see this one in particular has a lot of people who have viewed it 100%. Maybe this is a much shorter video and you're getting more people viewing through the whole thing. So this starts to give you an idea of what am I doing well and what am I doing wrong with these ads, and then also to look at the click-through rate as well. So this particular ad did a really good job with click-through rate. Its hook rate was pretty decent. Its thumbnail success was really good. Its hold rate was kind of average for what it was. Video view time wasn't super long, but for whatever reason, people were really willing to click through and like click on that ad, and it drove it drove some success there. So that's a little whistle-stop tour of how to analyze creative. Plenty more to learn, but hopefully now you've got the tools and the numbers you need to start analyzing your ad account with ease. With that being said, if you would like to get some more help with analyzing your ad account, you'd like to have someone to hold your hand a little bit as you navigate through running your ads yourself, you can go ahead and book a call with me by clicking on the link below. I offer free strategy calls where we dive into your ad account, take a look together, and I give you some concrete advice on what you might be doing wrong and what you can do better.